Crescendo, your program for the performing arts. Crescendo is a production of international artists in New York City and Seattle, Washington. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Crescendo. This week we have a very special program brought to you from the University of Washington in Seattle. They have just installed a beautiful set of change-ringing bells in the tower there, manufactured by the Royal Icebouts Foundry in Holland. We have Gordon Peak with us, who is the donor of those wonderful bells, as well as Rebecca Woodgate, who is the tower captain. You're going to see them both as the program progresses and hear this magnificent new addition to Seattle's music scene.
Emmert. I'm the president of the University of Washington, and I'm absolutely delighted that all of you have joined us here today for what I think is a wonderful event in the history of the university and something that is going to have a huge impact on this institution and the community for a long, long time to come. Most importantly, I want to acknowledge Gordon Stuart Peak. Gordon is the benefactor not only of this party, but in fact of the reason that we have a party at all. We also have with us today Dr. Robin McCabe, right here in front of us. Robin is the director of the School of Music and is a keen supporter of the bells, which were a gift to the School of Music, as I think everyone knows, and they will be managed within the School of Music in large part because of an endowment by the Peak Foundation to the school. We're very lucky that one of our own faculty, Professor Rebecca Woodgate, Rebecca is right here in front. Rebecca is a professor in oceanography who just happens to have an avocation of change ringing from her studies in Britain, and we're delighted that she's able to participate in this. We also have with us Lynn Barnett, who is the president of the North American Guild of Change Ringers. She's visiting from Atlanta. We have Bob Smith. Bob, where are you sitting? Oh, right here. Bob is the director of the UK's Taylor's, Ayr and Smith Bell Foundry, and he supervised the installations of the bells in Gerberding Hall. And then we have a number of very dedicated change ringers who have joined us. Would all of you bell ringers that have come from all around to join us today, please stand up and let us thank you for being here. And then I also want to acknowledge the UW Applied Physics Lab, who played a large part in having the bells shipped here and delivered to Gerberding Hall. But mostly, I want to thank Dr. Peak. Dr. Peak, as most of you know, graduated from the University of Washington with a PhD in history. The fact that he has brought this great event to bear here at the university and has allowed us to celebrate today the installation of these bells that we'll all get to enjoy for generations to come is a remarkable testament to that loyalty to the University of Washington and to music. So it is with great pleasure that I introduce Dr. Gordon Peak.
I'd like to give a little description of how this thing, well, first of all, I'd like to thank the people on the foundation, some of the boards of trustees, and I'm extremely, eternally indebted to Mr. Emmert, Mark, Fred, George, whatever your name is. I've been interested in bells all my life. I like the sound of bells, I don't know why. But they would ring a bell and something would happen. Someone would come to the kitchen or take things away, and bells intrigued me. And I eventually associated bells with action. The bell rings and something happens. And I was always one of the things my grandfather did early in my life was take me up to the old tower when George Bailey was playing the carillon and I got my initiation through that. But I was raised with the bells around, and it's nice. And I always thought we should have some bells around. And I thought also some generous, intelligent person would come through with some money for bells, and nobody ever did. And so, at any rate, I thought about these bells for a long time, and Dorothy Sayers came along, and the 9 tailors, and if you don't know, they ring 9 tailors when people have died. I don't hear them yet. And the next thing in the process was I had a friend of long-standing here, Gloria Swisher. Where are you, Gloria? I don't know where you are. They're way back there. And I had a plan about getting some bells, and I spoke to Gloria. And I said, well, maybe we should get some bells. And she said, well, go for it. And that was mistake number 1. And the next mistake, of course, was that Gloria, being in the position of authority, had connections with other powerful people, and one of them was Robin McCabe. So the next thing we did was have lunch with Robin McCabe one day, and all sorts of people joined this thing inadvertently. One of them was Saeed Danieli. Is he here? Oh, there he is. Saeed knows everything about numbers, figures, buildings, everything, and he has gone over all the documents and made sure that we are being treated honestly by the university. And Pamela Vokalek, is Pamela here? There she is. And Pamela was another one who got aboard this thing, and she was School of Music, and the people all pushed these things. We had a meeting, and about 12 or 15 people in the room down here. A man spoke up at the meeting, and he said, "I think the idea is brilliant." And that was Bill Gates. Which I refer to him irreverently sometimes as Brilliant Bill. But when he made that statement, the whole tenor of the meeting changed. And we were on our way. And one person who became involved in this thing was Elaine Etier. But these people who I'm naming, Elaine and Bill and Don Swisher, he's going to ring for glory. These people are going to ring the bells once through for you at the beginning. And then the next thing, of course, was in the Devil's Trap. Lo and behold, Rebecca Woodgate appeared. I don't know yet how I met her. It was the worst day of my life. And there was a man and his family came over from Honolulu. Mark was graduating from the university here, and the result of that is that Mark Very has been in this thing from the ground up, and Mark Very is he does everything. And in the meantime, Rebecca produced a set of handbells for this outfit, and the Applied Physics Lab staffed that thing pretty much. I don't know how many are here from the handbell group, but there was Harry Stern couldn't be here. Is Ron Lindsay here? Well, there's Ron Lindsay, okay. And there was Trina. I don't know whether she's here.
Yeah, Trina's over there.
Oh, there's Trina, okay. And also Ruth. Is Ruth, one of the people who was in the group is also a chap named Paul Hazel. Is Paul here? And Paul made the great statement one day. We were ringing handbells, of course, and it was very easy for the whole thing to disintegrate into utter confusion. And the room was, and Paul said, "Oh, Gordon, it's all your fault." And it wasn't my fault. We took 2 excursions up to Victoria to see the handbells, to see the tower bells and the carillon. That sold some people on this thing, so we made some progress. And we've had several excursions to Vancouver, people being up there to ring. And here are Peter, this is Peter and Eve Munns, his wife, and she's the tower captain up in Holy Rosary Cathedral. And I've 2 or 3 hours I've spent this close to her, pulling on this rope, she was telling me what to do. And they've been the soul of generosity, and it's a marvelous thing to have them here. And they will help support us through this thing as we get it going. Oh, Alan Ellis. Where's Alan? He was here someplace. Alan made the very famous statement. One day I was up there, and he was the first time I ever rang a bell on a Tuesday night, and they were all ringing. It was all over. Alan said, "Well, now let's get Gordon on a rope." But Vancouver has really been most helpful to us. I'm trying to think. Oh yes, and the Oxford crowd. The Oxford University is here, and Rebecca's Oxford. Oh, and there's one person who's here, but it's not Oxford, and he came from Cambridge, and that's not the whole thing there. But the thing about Oxford, which is curious, I think, is they have 19 sets of these bells in Oxford, and this is our first one here. So I don't really think of much else that I want to say, except that one person who has been the cement on this whole business, and that's Rebecca, and she has. I've never seen her with so much energy to do anything. She comes into the house at 11 o'clock at night with papers and all kinds of things, and it's the most remarkable. And she, if you want to stay away from the bells, stay away from her, because she will infect you faster than anything that I know. At any rate, Rebecca, I think, is going to address you slightly shortly now. And the only thing I would like to say about her, first of all, one, the bells are here. And two, you're here. Three, I'm here. And Rebecca, it's all your fault.
I refuse to take all the blame for this all on my own. So, at this stage, we will just, I'll say a few more words, and then we'll take the VIP ringers up into the tower. We've got some people who are going to ring the bells for the first hymn that open. So we have Gordon, of course, we have the President, Bill Gates Sr., Robin McCabe, Don Swisher, Ivan Turner, who's been our project manager and guiding star through all of this from Capital Projects. How many I counted to? The VIP ringers know who they are. If they would kindly go with Rachel. Rachel is our last. I've noticed Rachel in the purple shirt. You'll see people in purple shirts. That's our home band. That's where they're going. Okay, so they'll go off, and I may say just a few notes. I'm actually an Arctic oceanographer. That's what I do. That's my day job. But I learned to ring in Oxford. In the early 90s, it's actually Rachel and her father who taught me to ring. So if we're passing blame, I'd say it's all their fault. I came to Seattle in '99, and I thought this city was perfect, other than the fact it had no bells. I went up to Vancouver to get a visa done in 2000. I walked into the tower, and they said, "Oh, you're from Seattle. There's some chap in Seattle who's really interested in bells. Here, take his phone number and call him." Okay, so I took the phone number, and a year later, I went back to get another visa. And they said to me in Vancouver, "Well, did you phone him?" No, I didn't. Well, another year goes round, and I need another visa, and I think I don't dare go up there without phoning this guy. So I phoned him, and that started what has been an amazing roller coaster of euphoria and despair over the last 6 years. We've been through more trials, tribulations, meetings, and more meetings than I care to imagine in all of this. And that the university has more layers of committees and people than really you can imagine. What brings us together now is a lot of people. There's been a lot of people that have brought this all to bear. Ivan Turner, who's representing Capital Projects, has steered us through these myriad of committees. I don't think I can even remember the names of half of them. We've had very high up support from the School of Music, from the President, from the Regents, and these are all the things that have kicked the ball back out of the long grass, the time that it has got into that. And I want to say a big thank you to all those people for trusting in this and to show that we are now where we really are. The generosity and the vision of the donor is what started this. What is keeping us going is the generosity and time of all the ringers. These out-of-town visitors that we've got today, today we can hear this as it should be. We couldn't ring these bells without all these people who've come from far away to be with us today. We're joining a worldwide family of ringers. As a ringer, you can walk into any of those towers and be welcomed into this family, and we are now part of that. We are the first ring on the west coast of the mainland USA. Our nearest ringing neighbours are Chicago or Abilene in Texas. Or if you go the other way, it's Honolulu. So that's where we're coming in. We've got our band of ringers, as I say, they're in the purple shirts. We've had the support that these guys, energy that these guys have thrown into getting where we are today has been enormous. It's been an enormous privilege to be part of putting a tower together. There are over 5,000 towers that ring in the UK. There are 42 in the United States. So what exactly are we going to hear? Change ringing is different to any other ringing that you've heard. You think of a carillon, you think of tunes. You're not going to hear tunes, you're going to hear patterns. And the thing about change ringing is it requires what's full circle ringing. So bring on our demonstration if you come over this way, Arthur. So here we have a bell, probably as you're used to seeing it, a bell on a wheel. And as you see, if you swing it lightly, it swings. And this means in this situation, a heavy bell is going to swing slowly, and a light bell is going to swing fast. So if you're trying to ring a pattern with all the bells ringing one after the other, this is a problem, right? So what we do instead is we ring the bell up till it gets to the top here, and we ring the bell from this point, right the way around, dong, right the way up to the other side. It goes a lot faster than that. We ring them from this mouth up position to the mouth up position the other way. And that allows us to get different weights of bells to ring all at the same speed. Okay? And from that we can start then ringing patterns. Change ringing originated in the UK in the 17th century. I know we also have in the crowd today several people who have contacted me about learning to ring, and I'm thrilled that you're all here. We have I've had, so far the news has only been out in the university papers, and I've had 65 people contact me saying, I want to learn to ring. This is terrific. We have currently about 3 teachers. It's going to take us some time, so I'm looking for your patience as we go through that, and also as we start building our way into the campus community. We're starting now on a long road. I'm thrilled that you're all here. I thank you all for coming, and I thank you all for what's going to be a marvellous thing for UW and for Seattle. So at this stage, I'm going to run up the tower and get this started. I'm going to hand you over to Peter Munns, who's a ringer, great friend, great helper from Vancouver. He's going to talk through what we're now going to do with the bells. Okay, Peter, it's all yours.
Thank you, Rebecca. Well, we're in for a treat. This is the inaugural ring of the Gordon Stuart Peak Foundation Memorial Bells. And they're going to be heard open for the first time, which means you'll hear the full sound. Cast in the Netherlands by the Royal Ice Group's Vet Bell Foundry, and they were hung, as mentioned before, by Taylor Aaron Smith. Bob Smith was up to town now, was in charge of that. The lightest bell is called the treble, number 1, the heaviest, the tenor, number 8. Each bell bears a name representing the names of the donor's family. We'll start with our donor, Dr. Gordon Stuart Peak, ringing the 5th bell. This bell is, as its inscription, Gordon Stuart Peak. Bill. The next bell is inscribed for the donor's mother, Fanny Lyman Stuart Peak. Will be rung by Rebecca Woodgate. This is the dates of Fanny Lyman were 13th August 1898, 12th December 1992, and these dates are inscribed on the bells. The next bell is inscribed for the donor's father, Stuart Irving Peak, 18th of April 1896 to 5th of May 1966. It's the 6th bell. Must be rung by Don Swisher. The next bell is the donor's maternal grandmother, Alice Amelia Lyman Stewart, 7th of January 1863, 8th of April 1941. It's the third bell. It's to be rung by Mark Emmert. The next is for the donor's paternal grandmother, Ida Cecilia Bailey Peake, 15th November 1858 to 12th of January 1941. It's the seventh bell, will be rung by Regent Bill Gates Sr. Next is the donor's maternal grandfather, Jesse Ovid Bion Stuart, 23rd November 1858, 9th of January 1939, and will be the second bell and will be rung by Professor Robin McCabe. The next bell is the seventh bell to be rung for the donor's paternal grandfather, Louis Victor Peake. The inscription is 26th September 1863, 28th of May 1937. It's the eighth bell, the heaviest, and will be rung by Lane Etier. Finally, the last bell, the treble, the lightest bell, is the inscriptions for the donor's aunt, Lola Jessamine Stewart. The dates are the 29th of November 1883, 16th of March 1951, and will be rung by Ivan Turner. Okay. Now you'll be shortly hearing the bells rung up in Peel, and after that we thank you all very much for coming and attending today. The weather's turned for us very nicely. Thank you all very much for coming, and we'll now listen to the bells.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Crescendo. We hope to see you next time.